Over to Dr.
Thank
Ishaq.
you.
Yes, sir. Please unmute. Yes, sir.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you clear and loud.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. And first of all, I'm grateful to Fawad for organizing this very crucial meeting or interactive program. I think my two very distinguished colleagues have already alluded most of the things that I would have mentioned. I think they made my task very easy. I must tell the dear participants, the potential examinees, that exam, whatever we do, will remain an exam. Some people will fail, some people will pass, and the systems will keep on changing. Now, the current system that I've been involved for the last 27 years have gone through tremendous evolution. And I must tell you that as of today, the examination that we have been conducting for the last 27 years, and since I took over as a convener, there has been no bias as far as the examiner is concerned. The examiner bias has been totally eliminated. And we have tried to bring in all the stuff that we see in the hospital. There's nothing we have been brought from museums or from archives. It is what you see every day in your cath lab, in your echo lab, in your outpatients, in your CCU, ICUs. So it has been a very fair exam up till now. Now we are going through another transition, and that is because of the COVID, there's a need to change over to virtual examination, and there's a lot of discussion going on. And I think, as Zubair said, the examiners need to be told and taught about the virtual examination, because very few of us have got a complete insight to that examination because never done it, you see. We have done all along our life the current traditional examination. But we are glad that Bashir Hanif is on board, who has got a US background, and he knows a bit more about the virtual. There's a lot of discussion going on. I don't think we have come to any conclusion, but I think with Bashir in the faculty, I think something will come up quite soon. I must tell you that even the Royal College of Physicians in United Kingdom, where I go for exam twice a year, they have sent me recently 5 modules, 5 options to replace their PACES examination. So it's a worldwide problem that is going on at the moment. As far as the cases are concerned, I think talks का बारे में बता दिया है. We bring the routine stuff that you see every day in the hospital, in your clinics. And the thing is that every section of the examination examines you or tests your knowledge on a particular specific area. There's no one area where you are examined in total. And when you combine these long, short cases, talks, and your theory, then we realize that, yes, there is a person who qualifies to become a physician, who is safe, and who can be dependent upon running the ward in the absence of the consultant. Now, short cases are a kind of gamble, you see. Either you tell them right or you wrongly diagnose and you fail in that, because you get a very limited time. On the other hand, long case gives you enough time, and people think this is a very comfortable, very easy segment. I would say this is one of the most difficult one, because here the examiner has got a lot of time to interrogate you properly, to test your knowledge, in-depth knowledge, how you manage the patient. And what we are trying to find out in a long case is basically, we are trying to tell you that there's a patient lying in front of you with this background, with these symptoms, and you are going to manage this patient as a consultant. And here you get time to extract the maximum information within the specified time, which is relevant, and you exclude all the irrelevant information, and come up with a provisional, after a brief examination, come up with a provisional diagnosis that my patient is most probably suffering from this disease, like multiple stenosis with atrial fibrillation, for example. And then you get time to think about what are the ways to manage this patient medically, where does the intervention come into the picture, when the surgery comes into the picture, what are the complications, what are the questions that are going to be asked from me. So that is the time we give. So what have we observed so far in the last systems, you see, or the current system so far, we gave half an hour to the candidate to examine the patient, take the history and all this. And we realize that this is a long time. But when the bell is, you see, about to be rung, they start checking the knee jerks. They are sometimes looking into the eyes, and they are just asking some questions that they should have asked in the beginning of the, you see, history taking. So that tells us that you don't have a concept of timekeeping. Timekeeping is the most important in long case. You are given a time, you have to spend few minutes on examination, history taking, few minutes on examination, and then you have to sit down, write down your finding, and then think what is the provisional diagnosis or my clinical diagnosis, and what are the possible differential diagnoses that this patient can have, what are the alternatives, and what are the kind of questions this examiner is going to ask me in terms of management, in terms of investigation. And what we are now doing, we are bringing all the stuff from the hospitals relevant to that patient, ECG, X-rays, labs, echoes, angiograms, and sometimes nuclear imaging. And we are asking them, look, this is your patient, and this is the your investigation that you asked for, and then you have to interpret those investigations to come to a conclusion. You have to match your clinical findings, you have to match your provisional or initial diagnosis with your interpretation. You try to match the image and try to find the association between the two, like lock and key. And if you find something very odd, then you should start suspecting that I either missed something or we have left something which has been unfolded. I think the long case gives the examiner the best time to find out about your knowledge, about the way you manage the patient, about the complications the patient may have, and your future plans for that patient vis-a-vis his diagnosis. And then the examiner has a liberty to ask you few things which are not strictly confined to that patient, that particular disease, but very relevant to the subject, very relevant to the topical issues going on in the literature. And examiner then makes an assessment. Two examiners make an assessment that, look, here we have a candidate who has taken a proper history, who has done a proper examination, who has come up with proper finding, and who has tried to bring up a most likely clinical diagnosis. Then when we ask what are the other possibilities, so he's come up with one or two very close options as far as difference is concerned. And then coming to the investigations and the management plan and the prognosis and what sort of future this patient has got, what sort of rehabilitation you are going to offer to this patient, what is his prospects of job, social rehabilitation, and whatever. And then I think the examiners can conclude that here we have a doctor who is not not erratic, but is quite rational. He has come up with a clinical diagnosis. He has come up with a proper plan. He knows his subject. He can interpret the routine investigations. If you cannot interpret your echocardiogram or angiographic findings on showing you angiogram, and you don't know where the diagonal is, what is dominant, what is non-dominant, what are the findings, is there a plug, is there an ulceration, there is a fissure, or there is a fistula. So all these things need to be identified, and these are what you normally see. As Bashir has already told you, we are not bringing anything from museums or from archives or from textbooks. We are just bringing the stuff from various hospitals where trainees are under training, and they are exposed to those kind of investigations and tests. Having said that, we don't know what sort of virtual examination we are going to hold in future. I think we are all trying to find out what the most appropriate way of doing it, because we cannot be unfair to the patient, to the candidates who have been only used to the previous system. At the same time, we have this problem or limitation due to COVID. We cannot find proper patients. So I think we have to come up with a very positive solution to the problem, which should be acceptable to candidates. And as Zubair said, we should give enough time. I think Zubair has given very good slides, and that has at least taught me what actually virtual means. And I think we need to more and more educate ourselves before we embark on examining the candidates. So we should be very clear in our mind what are we going to ask and what we are going to, how we are going to conduct. Because the first examination can be quite problematic, and it can be sometimes unfair with the candidates. So I think the responsibility, I think अभी तक तो बहुत ज़्यादा responsibility हम feel करते रहे, इसमें मेरे ख्याल हमारी responsibility 10 times बढ़ जाएगी, और इसलिए कि ये एक ऐसी मोडेलिटी होगी जिसका हमें भी पूरी तरह इल्म नहीं होगा और उनको भी इल्म नहीं है, और हम फर्स्ट टाइम कर रहे होंगे. तो आई थिंक वी हैव टू बी वेरी फेयर कि हम ये ना हो कि सबको वो लीनियंसी में पास कर दें या फेल कर दें. वी हैव टू बी वेरी फेयर. आई थिंक जैसे बशीर ने कहा, सिंस आई बीन इन्वॉल्व्ड, I have tried not to bring any examiner who has the slightest potential of harming a candidate. We have tried to eliminate all those potentially dangerous examiners. And I'm glad that the bunch of examiners that have helped me over the years are the most excellent people. They just want that you should pass. And when you fail yourself, you fail because of some major mistake or blunder. And one of the blunders which has been pointed out by Bashir rightly is overstatement, overdiagnosis, being over smart with the consultant, with the examiner. Examiner is much more smarter than you. He has spent years and years in the wards and examining you. If somebody tries to be over smart with me, I think he is only fooling himself, because I have been through this for so many years. So I think try to be humble, try to tell what you actually know. Try to tell us that, sir, I haven't seen this, I don't know. Fine, we are not going to fail you on that. We are not going to give you credit, but we are not going to fail you on that. But if you tell me something that you have not done and you are overstating, and something that is not there, you say, sir, I have just seen this, I think that is a suicide. So don't do that. The examiners are always on your side. They don't have anything against you. We even don't see you when you pass. We never seen a box of mithai brought to us. I mean, we have got no vested interest whatsoever, except that we should do our job properly and with a fairness to both the profession and the candidate. क्या शेप बनेगी वर्चुअल एग्जामिनेशन की? मेरा ख्याल है आइंदा ईद के बाद तक कुछ ना कुछ एक सॉलिड फॉर्म में हमारा आ जाएगा. टॉक्स तो वही है जो था. इट हैज ऑलरेडी बीन फॉर्मुलेटेड. वी आर गोइंग टू, आई थिंक जुबैर को बताएंगे कि हम इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट वीक उसको फाइनलाइज कर रहे हैं. एंड अब ये जितने भी एग्जामिनेशंस हैं, इनमें एक पर्टिकुलर एस्पेक्ट को एग्जामिन किया जाता है. टॉक्स के अंदर आपको एक चीज दी जाती है, यू आर लिमिटेड टू दैट पर्टिकुलर व्यू. So you are examined in that particular finding, you see, और ये सब मिल के then वो जिक्सा जो है वो बनता है, and that makes the examination a perfect assessment of a physician. I think I don't have to say anything more. Once we have the virtual examination properly approved and the principles laid down, then I think we'll. The only drawback that, as Zubair has already told you, is that we won't be able to test your mannerism and methodology and clinical skills, which are, I think, as a traditional physician trained in United Kingdom, I think they are very important. But I think we'll have to make some compromise in view of the situation. With this, thank you very much. I'm very glad that two distinguished colleagues who are here, and they have given very good insight. I think we need to do few more of these, and we should involve all the examiners first. Once we have, I'll request Bashir that once we have formulated, we have come to a conclusion, we have agreed that yes, this is the examination going to be, then the next thing is to hold a meeting of all the potential examiners. And I've got the list, and Zubair has got the list. We have got a long list of examiners. Those examiners should become the participants, and they should be taught this is the examination we are going to conduct in future. Thank you very much for having me. I'm sitting in a electricity blackout outside my study in the veranda, and this is how Karachi
But,
is.
sir, we still want you to next 10-15 minutes for answering questions, because we
Yes,
do get
yes.
got some questions as well. The biggest multiple asked question is the tentative date. I think Dr. Zubair would be appropriate person to answer this. At least a tentative.
It
Yes,
will be
Dr.
September.
Right.
What?
Okay.
Can you listen me?
Yes, yes.
Ji. You know, I have been in contact with Sharif Saab, obviously, you know, उसमें जो है कि regarding the tentative date, obviously, you know, it's unlikely for the next 1.5 months. इतना तो मैं आपको बता सकता हूँ. This is mid of July. So what I am expecting is कि maybe it's September, maybe, you know. Just a tentative thing, क्योंकि as a faculty we want at least कि पहले हम जब सब चीजें हम बना लें, उसके बाद 1 महीने का टाइम हम देना चाहते हैं for the examiners orientation as well as the candidates. This is what I think. So 40 September is my guess. I don't know.
ठीक.
Exactly.
सर, ये बिल्कुल वो एंकर वाला सवाल हो गया. ये हुकूमत कब जा रही है?
नहीं, फवाद, I agree with the
और शेख रशीद वाला जवाब है. अगले 60 दिन बहुत अहम है.
Fawad, I've got a more appropriate.
Yeah, sir. You can add on.
It is a mid-September.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Yep.
And we
this is
assume.
what I.
Yeah, almost similar. सर, दोनों की guess सही है. तो मैं as a anchor इसको.
Guess के अलावा ये है फवाद कि obviously they ask from us as well. What do you want the examiner? जिस तरह साहब ने पूछा ना, they ask कि आपकी क्या requirement है, and we ask for them कि orientation होनी चाहिए.
सही. तो मुझे यही लगता है कि कम से कम फाइनल करने के बाद आप 1 महीना कैंडिडेट्स को देंगे.
नहीं, पहले एग्जामिनर्स को देंगे.
अच्छा, नहीं, वो तो सबको मिला के, यानी कम से कम कैंडिडेट को भी एक
इंसाफ किया जाएगा. ये बता दो आपको इंसाफ. जो हमारा इस वक्त फैकल्टी है या एग्जामिनर्स हैं, इनमें इंशाल्लाह कोई ऐसा वो नहीं है. तारीख इंसाफ नहीं है, लेकिन इंसाफ जरूर होगा.
अच्छा, दूसरा क्वेश्चन सर बहुत ज्यादा वो है कि ये इस हवाले से, क्योंकि अमूमन हम जब previously we were doing long cases, it's according to the availability of patients most of the time, and most of the time 95% of the time it's ischemic heart disease. But now I think we expect things to be covered evenly all subjects, क्योंकि previously तो ये आपको फायदा हो जाता था कि वार्डों में ischemic heart disease के cold patient पड़े हुए होते थे, वो आते थे. और ये पिछले 2-3 साल से मैं भी काफी सोचता था कि हमें कुछ करना चाहिए, क्योंकि तकरीबन ये तमाम कैंडिडेट को पता होता था कि लॉन्ग केस में जो हमारी ग्रिलिंग होनी है वो दैट इज जस्ट ऑन इस्केमिक हार्ट डिजीज. तो वो जो बाकी सब्जेक्ट पेरिकार्डियल है, पल्मोनरी आर्टरी है, ये देयर आर मल्टीपल थिंग्स, एरिथमियाज हैं, तो दे आर अ बिट नेग्लेक्टेड. सो विद दैट वर्चुअल, डू वी एक्सपेक्ट दीज ऑल सब्जेक्ट्स टू बी देयर?
आई विल आस्क यू आंसर यू दिस क्वेश्चन.
दोनों से सर बारी बारी ले लेते हैं आपसे भी. पहले आप सर इसहाक साहब आप करें आंसर, और फिर डॉक्टर जुबैर भी इस पे आंसर कर दें, ताकि इन लोगों को आइडिया हो जाए कि दे हैव टू बी रेडी फॉर एवरीथिंग.